Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Learning Journey, the podcast hosted by the Institute for Professional Excellence. And I'm your host, Elias. Great to be here. Today, we have our wonderful guest, Evdokia Pitsillidou, who is the Risk and Compliance Director and Partner at SALVUS Funds. Welcome, Evdokia. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Elias. Thank you for the opportunity. It's great to be here today, and happy to see what this podcast is around, and to make this wonderful for our people and insightful.
Great. Thank you, Evdokia, for the introduction. So let's just dive into it. Evdokia, if you could describe yourself in a few words, who would you say you are?
That's a very broad and a nice question always. Well, throughout my career, and everyone's career, they think, what am I doing? What I like to do, where I'm good at, and maybe some characteristics describing people. So I ended up thinking that what describes me more, it's that I'm driven by grit. And by grit, meaning that I can accomplish many things, and I can accomplish what I want to in terms of not giving up. As long as I have a clear goal and it's supporting my values, a person with grit is there and keeps going and motivates people around them, and they want to do great work on what they do. Of course, doing great work, it's fulfilling, it's nice, and growing as a person. I want to keep growing, and I wish my team keep growing and see flourish, I would say, as I inspired myself doing it. So this is a characteristic I believe that describes me. I'm happy growing my small baby called SALVUS, which grew up a lot, and the academy, RegTech solutions that we are launching, and many other stuff that are in the pipeline for us.
Great. I love that you describe yourself as having grit and everything. I think that's a very nice characteristic, and it's probably helped you be so successful as you are. And you touched upon a few other projects that you have with SALVUS, the academy, fintech, RegTech, and all that kind of stuff. So just to give us a little bit of an understanding, obviously you've reached some success now. You keep on growing those projects and yourself as well. I just want to understand a little bit. So how did you get to where you are today? If you could share a little bit about your educational background and how did you start your career?
Yeah, sure. Well, as a background, I'm a mathematician, and I have done a master's in actuary, one of the toughest, I would say, degrees to deliver, to graduate from. And maybe that was the point where I realized that I can put the long hours and as long as it takes to deliver my goal. And after in life, I realized how much in love I love statistics, data, and all of that. So through the years, I joined the team at Easy Markets as a data analyst. I moved to the risk management department where I met Nicolas Xenofontus. We worked together for almost 6 years. And after him resigning from there, and seeing how limited, I'll say, is the provision of consultancy services in the professional way, in meaningful, in problem-solving way, and supporting the regulated space in Cyprus, we launched SALVUS with the idea of delivering quality information and solving the problems they have. So we give answers. We guide the client to understand what is the new regulation, what they have to do, and not just rephrasing again the regulation, which is a lot of difference. And I'd say what makes us different is that we are actually knowing the product. And by knowing the product, you can understand the point of view of the client and the point of view of the regulator and the regulation itself. So you are here to help the client understand how they can implement regulation with their practices, which is huge. So we formed Salvus with this idea. Of course, when you start something from scratch, it has a lot of roller coaster days. And it's a difficult task to prove yourself, regardless that you feel that you are good, regardless that you feel that I deliver much better than the others. You have to work hard to do that. You have to make people believe that I engage the best. I have trust in you. Doesn't mean that I engage a big firm that they will deliver. So you have to convince this person. Work with me and you will see the results. And until today, I'm happy to share that we concluded, I say, projects, agreements, meaning that clients conclude their agreement and they left in a way, if I say it that way, one every, I don't know if I say the ratio, one every 50 clients. So this means a lot. And there are a lot of ways people, they leave. They leave either for low budget, somewhere else gave them low budget. They leave because other contacts introduce new provider, which is fair. What we care most though is if a client leaves because of our performance. And we believe in performance. And that's what shapes us. And after all, we have 5 principles around that, which our employees are governed by that, and we try to communicate that so we blend and we have the same culture. I can talk hours about that, but in a few words, if I say that, these 5 principles, one of them is do more great work, which we believe in it. That's what we do, more great work. The other one is think win-win, because we are in a win-win situations. Always, you have to be. I deliver a work, you are the client, so you have to be a winner and I have to be a winner. We believe in this equation, if I say it right. Aim for simplicity, which sounds very easy to be simple, but in our world, nothing is simple. And if you break things down to narrow and make things, solving the problem for a client and for your team, of course, things are easier to be implemented. Things are delivered. So we aim for simplicity. Of course, we work with problem solvers, because we are problem solvers, and we say also, so our clients work with problem solvers. And finally, the last quote that Nicolas introduced was press, pause, and think, which is magical. It's meaningful, it's simple, but in these days, it's so difficult, I say, to pause, make this long pause and think clearly. We have a lot of buzz, we have a lot of noise in our heads, we want to do everything, and maybe you are frustrated, things may don't go well from different aspects. So press, pause, and think can do a great work. Yes.
Great, thank you, Evdokia, for that. Very interesting. I just wanted also to touch upon the last one you said, press, pause, and think. I think that one is a really powerful one, and I think you nailed it with your explanation of it, where there's so much buzz and noise today. And I find that within myself in the past as well, working to become better, both professionally and personally, that it's difficult to actually do the pause and think, because we are bombarded with information, and sometimes it creates this feeling of uneasiness to sit with ourselves and our own thoughts for a moment. We constantly look for stimulation, like watching something on TV, reaching for our phones, calling someone, watching a YouTube video. whatever the case may be. And we rarely ever sit just with ourselves anymore in silence to think about our next steps, how we want to plan, how we want to execute. So I really like that one. And, knowing yourself and Nicolas for a bit, I can definitely see how you've incorporated that within your businesses. So I want to transition a little bit now. I want to ask you more about your skill sets. So how have you leveraged your skills to, consistently lead Salvus to success as a boutique advisory?
That's a good question. Well, as I said, I'm a mathematician. So first, sometimes I get the question, how can you be in compliance? I'm not a lawyer, but I said humbling, sometimes I can write better than a lawyer. It's not just writing better, I say. It's understanding better. Understanding from the experience and also putting down the different pieces to deliver this update of the manual, how we make annual reports and all of that. So how I leverage my knowledge and experience and my skills. My skills start from the grit. That's why I believe that what characterizes me is this. So we founded Salvus. Salvus does these specific services. We do licensing, we do compliance, and we do internal audits. So to do the licensing thing, the most difficult thing is not actually to write the business plans, the policies, all of that are difficult. We understand that. Because there are a lot of documents, there are a lot of information to put there. You have to understand what the client wants to achieve, blah, blah, blah. Most difficult thing is to actually discuss with the regulators, with the officer, understand what they need, what else, and deliver in a way the checklist. Then, when you do regulatory compliance, which let's say I will say SISEC, the example here, we have a lot of regulatory requirements, a lot and many, and most of them they require a lot of attention, a lot of time and effort. The best to deliver this and have a good team is to actually be proactive. We know that there are regulatory requirements. We always have this nice cut delivered to our clients with the calendar every year. We want them to be updated. So we know effectively from now that in April we have this set of reports, in May, blah, blah, blah. If I wait to start in March for delivering April reports, obviously it will be bad work, it will be stressed for me, for my team, for everybody, and we'll have unsatisfied clients. So working in a time management format delivers work. This is a skill. This is a skill that everyone can develop as long as they are disciplined. So discipline is a very good characteristic for someone to have, and that's a characteristic that I embrace my team to cultivate and have, which thankfully they have. So we can deliver so many things, I say, leveraging the skills that we have in time management, first of all, understanding the value of our effort, and understanding the needs of the client. So we don't put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation of too much stress with no reason, because we have everything ahead. And imagine that within these 6 months of the year that we have the regulatory period, we also have to deliver all our courses at IforPE, which this year we delivered 30 courses, new courses, plus the academic, I would say the workshops we do for the preparation courses, which again we launched the AML, which was delivered with the new syllabus.
For SISEC, right?
Yeah, for the SISEC. So to do all of this, of course, we are not aliens. We don't have a magical filters. We have 24 hours a day. Okay, we work a lot, but we deliver more than the days, if I say it in a nice way. So what describes myself and the team is always planning to have good time management. And aside that, we may receive letters from SciSec for our clients. You have 15 days to do this work for this application, for this ad hoc, for the internal audit, etc. This is part of the unknown schedule, but effectively you have to make schedule for this unknown because you know that you are going to receive unknowns. And if you actually make this part of your schedule, you have a clear schedule. No one is overwhelmed because everyone knows how to cope with this. Of course, it's changing the schedule when you get the ad hocs, but again, this is the time management. Yeah.
So very interesting. It sounds like time management is something huge and something that played a really big role in you helping lead, SALVUS consistently for over the years to become a leading boutique advisory in Cyprus and in Europe. Can we break it down a bit, like time management? I mean, let's say someone now is listening to us, watching us, and they're a professional looking to level up their lives. They're overwhelmed a bit. There's a lot of noise going around, as we discussed. They don't have time to think. What are some steps maybe that you would tell someone, a professional, that could start better time management skills?
Well, okay. Well, there are, I'll say, I will break things into 3 areas. One is things that you know. I know the deadlines that we have. So I even have a timetable. Literally, I printed every 1 day or 2 days, and I'm adding things in there. And for the rest of the year, which days I'm booked for this and that and that. I describe them as tasks. Okay. Obviously, throughout the day, let's say I say 8 hours, I will not say more hours. How long you can work in a task? You cannot work 8 hours in a task. You can work in a task 2 to 3 hours max. Because the rest of the day, you have to spend it answering emails, which is a task, but it's not in your to-do to answer emails. You have to do operational work. Everyone has operational work to do. So you have to spend another 1 hour in and out from emails to do these small tasks. Then you have also maybe delivering proposals to new clients, maybe some calls with new prospects, or your team, or coordinating, or someone calls you from the regulator. So you have to understand how your day works and assign the task that you know that are going to deliver in the period. If I have an internal audit which I have to deliver in 3 months, I have to start today, but I cannot do everything today. So I split this into different days. Okay. So we have the known, and then you have to add in this day some unknowns, which again, the emails are kind of unknown. And there are also some unknowns in terms of these ad hocs from size. And again, I'm saying different people, they have different schedules, but they have also unknowns. So these unknowns, again, they deserve an hour in your schedule. You will have it. So you don't pack your days with the schedule I will have. You split it, and then you service your days. When you wrap the week, you will identify that, I have the time to finish my actual task because I did all of that. In my way, weekends are a friend to deliver and catch up for this. But it's not for everybody, the weekend, or they don't work in that way. So you have to make the time then, if you don't work on the weekend, to make all the other days of the week. But you need a day or time with the press, pause, and think in order to deliver a task. So this is a time management. And it's also a time management of the knowns. You can start working earlier. So if I have let's say, the quarterly reports of our clients in 30 days from now, I can do some work on it until the client delivers something, I will do it. So I prepare until the client gives us things. Again, you work proactively to save from the unknowns. And this is a success if you try to put it in there. The most difficult, I'd say, for me is when you travel. For example, because I travel quite a lot to different places, to different expos, and you have to prepare. I have a rule here about the preparation. We go to expos, we are presenting ourselves, we are exposing ourselves there. So I have the obligation to be prepared. I have to make have the chance, these guys, you give you the opportunity to speak about what you do. So you have to prepare. I find it unprofessional to go there and say hi. I am not sure why I'm here or what I'm going to talk about. So again, you have to make time to write something down, what I want to share, what meaningful from my work I want to share. Because effectively, after all, you are promoting your work. So we go, let's say, for Expo, which is a recent one, and you plan meetings, you plan your panel, you plan everything. At the same time, though, work is happening at the office, and your emails are all over the place. And you go to dinners, and you go to meet clients, and then you have to do everything. So in this environment, and you want to also visit something from the country you are traveling. So to do all of this, what I've tried to do actually is close as much as possible before I leave for a trip. You cannot deliver all projects or everything, but if you close as many open things, it will help you go through your trip and not worry about things that's left unanswered back in the office. This is one of the things that I like. Then when you come back from your trip, not come back, you have to work when you are in the trip. You have to find some time or sacrifice some meetings for the work here. Because after all, these are already booked and paid work. So, and you cannot really sacrifice the paid work and the quality you want to share with the prospect, right? And then you come back from the holiday, you have to cover, and then you pack your bags to the next business trip and blah, 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 or your personal trips. It needs a planning, a good planning to do all of that. I believe I'm doing well on that. I try to at least. But I'm very grateful having my team back where they can back me up when I'm getting queries, when I'm getting things that I cannot deliver them while I'm flying, for example, or being in the places. So replicating, I would say, your work to your team and your ethic or how you deliver work, so you make more of you, is magical. And I'm happy that my team maybe replicates the good things that I have. Because I have bad things as well. But it's the good things. The good things that you have, it's good your team to replicate you, so they continue your work. And when I heard from a client, I was where he was working with one of my team members, Despina. He goes, I was dealing with Despina and I didn't feel that I was not working with you. This is great for me. This is a success. It means that we serve the same way the client with the same quality and the same passion of like I do, and my team is doing the same.
Great.
Yeah.
I think you touched upon a lot of things there that are very, very, very good. The last thing about your team, helping your team, you're kind of leading by example. You know, you're showing them, hey, we have a lot of work, we like the lot of work, and here I am delivering. And I think your team, you know, is inspired by that. They look up to you, and they try to take, like you said, you know, the good elements of Evdokia, maybe some bad ones as well. You know, I think that's normal, not a bad thing. But with their personality, they combine that, and then you're able to deliver the same quality with the client. That's very good. The other thing that was really interesting that you shared as well is about, and that it all comes together, I think, about time management, preparation, pressing pause and thinking. I think it's the ability to, you know, foresee, to anticipate. So like you said, in your schedule and your time, you know, your timetable, which you print out every few days and you adjust, you schedule in for things that are going to happen on an ad hoc basis. For emails as well, you might get a really important email, something happens, you know, you have to address it. You cannot let it go because, hey, I have my schedule, I said I'm doing this, I'm not doing anything else. Something happens with your team, you need to address it, of course you will. So your ability, I feel like, to adjust and to realign with your timetable and the time you have, I think is very valuable. And I think, you know, it's a skill that a lot of people lack maybe. And I think that's something that, you know, you're trying to show to your team how to do, so you can provide that same level of performance and delivery to the clients. You also touched upon expos, and it's something that I want to dive into a bit as well. You know, for the last few years, you've been traveling a lot for different expos. As you said, you have an upcoming one in Dubai in a couple of days. So how do you feel about this exposure, and what is your message to the audience?
Well, I find it very interesting. It's something that I realized, or maybe I discovered throughout the journey of SALVUS. My biggest fear was asked by Nicolas many years ago. What was my biggest fear? And my biggest fear was to talk to audience, and even presenting to audience. And then he was manager of me back then. So he said to me, okay, so your next task will be, in a nice way, of course, to make a presentation to a team that you choose and in a subject that you choose. So what he tried to make me see here is that when you know something well and you're good at it, you can present it to other people because you have I will say it in a nice way, you know better than the audience your subject. And if you do that, then an element of risk, an element of stress is being removed. I did that presentation back then, and I was terrified. I did okay. And then when I finished it, I said, okay, I did these mistakes, but I'm eager to do it again. I want to do it again because I want to get better. I did it again and again and again. When we started SALVUS, I've got an invitation for IFX to participate as a speaker at the IFX Limassol. And that was very, very recent when we formed SALVUS. I'm thankful for this invitation, but to be honest, I wrote my script and I rehearsed my script for days. And I didn't want to say anything else than my script. I mean, it was obvious. It was the first time going out there. It was when we formed, I mean, you're nobody, effectively. No one really believes you didn't prove anything to a lot of people. And then the other panelists are more, I would say, we are more, having more experience than me in these panels and in this exposure. I did well, and I find it interesting. I was driven by the adrenaline of the event, and I heard again the discussion. I said, I can become better next time. In every opportunity, I try to expose myself, and I put myself out there because I said, I can be better. I can do better. Last year, I said I would love to be a moderator. It's something that I haven't done. And of course, moderator is very important in a panel. I tried that. I believe, though, I'm better panelist than moderator. But again, I'm eager to become a moderator again, so I become better. The fact that I like becoming better is the key on my exposure. I want to expose. I'm not afraid to expose myself because I want to become a better version of me in every occasion. And this is important. And even when we deliver these nice courses at IforPE and even in-house trainings and to different people, I hosted 2 days for internal auditors, a big event. Every time I feel like, oh, who is going to be from the audience? And every time I calm myself by saying, it would be interesting if we have people very knowledgeable and challenge me. Because it would be nice. It would be nice also from the audience. It would be nice people, to be engaging. I want to learn as well, and I can learn from the other people. It doesn't mean that I know everything. As long as I say your subject when you're presenting, either small or big talks, and you welcome people to make you questions, and even don't be afraid to say, I don't know the answer, but I'm curious to find the answer. Or maybe we have someone here who can tell us from their experience what they do, because they don't have all the answers. It gives a very nice environment because someone can have a better experience working in the industry to give us insight for specific area. How you do AML, how you do KYC, and you are a crypto provider, and you're actually the person doing that. Of course, this person can have more things to say than me. Okay, I know the regulations, I know how things can work, but he knows the practical side, right? So being exposed, I think it's nice. It's challenging. It gives you a fresh perspective of you, and I always encourage people to do it. This year, I pushed myself as well to deliver courses at IforPE for the material that they are preparing. I mean, it's difficult as well to prepare this nice material because we put a lot of information there. It's a research. Again, you are exposing yourself by that, isn't it? Because you want to prepare something nice. So what's missing effectively from you already prepared it, okay, and deliver it. You speak to your audience. You also train yourself. So I'm happy that the team followed the push, and we delivered something nice. And I hope more people will embrace this, and maybe another member of my team participate in panels. It's nice. We share knowledge and insight of what we do after.
I like that. I like the fact of your approach and mindset that you have to, first of all, the expos. Obviously, when you first started them, you were terrified of public speaking, getting on the stage, embarrassing yourself. I think these are very normal things. But the fact that you made the decision to do it, you proved to yourself, hey, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to get embarrassed. If I prepare and I feel confident in my own knowledge and skills, then I can do it. Of course, you practiced initially with your script, and then now it comes more natural to you, which is great. The other thing I really liked, which is beautiful, it's about like your learning journey, where yes, you have experience and you're an expert now in what you do, but you're also open to new thoughts, to new challenges. Let's say you look for someone from the crowd to ask something that could be a bit challenging to you because it's an opportunity for you to learn, and you step forward for that. You're not afraid of like, oh my God, I'm on the stage now. I said my 5 things that I know, but if someone says something now, I don't know how to handle it. No, you press pause and you think. You are confident in yourself and you're open to that discussion. And if you don't know something, it's an opportunity for you to learn. You can also ask questions back and forth. So I think that's really nice. And the way I like how you tied it in as well with the courses, that you're delivering new courses. Let's transition a bit to IforPE.
Yeah.
So obviously you were the first instructor at the Institute for Professional Excellence, launched back in 2019. And I just wanted to ask you a little bit of, how is that going, and how have you grown, within the sphere of online education and for you as an instructor?
Yeah. Well, if I recall back in the days, first of all, how I pursue my career as instructor. When ScienceEC decided to have to roll out the AML examinations, well, I said to Nicolas, you know what? I will enroll myself in the first examination. I will study. I will make the notes that I will be buying. So this is a key word. I will buy these notes. If you buy these notes yourself, it means that you are confident that has all the information there, but you are proud to pay for it. The element of pay your own things is important. So if you don't want to buy something that you create, it means that it's not either good or you know that it's not delivered well. So, and it's a question that I always make, even to people that they come for interviews, and I have an exercise related to courses. Would you buy your work? It's very important. Would you buy your work? And when I say yes, I will buy my work. I will buy my notes. I will buy this course. And I believe that it can prepare me well for the exam. I mean it, because I will do it. So when we had this, I said, I'll study. I prepare my notes, the best notes that someone will extract from this workbook. I did it, and I put it also in the presentations. And I also prepare mock exams for myself. And when I was doing that, I was preparing myself for the exams. And I did it. I went to the first examination, and I passed the examination with 95%. Still today, I'm not sure if the question that I missed was wrong. Anyway, but the example is there. So I passed the examination, and then I said, yes, I'm happy with the notes that we prepared. So let's roll out the course. We roll out the course, a live course, and it was very nice one. I believed in it. And then when we started, when we joined the institute, the live online version, which anyway now, after COVID especially, everyone is using these online journeys. And I find the institute of the IforPE very powerful in the sense that people buy something, a self-study. People don't need to spend their time 5 hours. If I tell you, stay 5 hours to this course continuously, within the 40 minutes, there are a lot of studies after all, that your attention starts dropping because it's a continuous, someone's talking. So effectively, if I do live course 5 hours, you will be focused on the first 30 minutes, then you are losing it, and then maybe it comes back again. Maybe after a break, you are still here and another 30 minutes and go on. I achieve nearly nothing because you, as a student, sacrifice the 5 hours. As a trainer, I sacrifice the 5 hours, but you didn't learn much. Okay, so in the self-study, asynchronous now, you get the course, you say, I have an hour today. I will watch chapter 1. I read the notes, I do it. Then I have half an hour the next day. Or I stop the video. Or I go back to the video to check, I didn't understand this element. And in this way, you are learning much better. And you keep all the information that you learn. So the institute, I believe, can grow a lot with this sense and with more trainers that now join the institute. And I believe with this way, more people will start learning actually better. But for our courses, we have this mode. We want people to learn quality. First of all, we started with the preparation courses. AML was our first, as I said. I think we have like a success of maybe 95% of people who get our course, they pass. Of course, I cannot force someone to study, and I cannot force someone to spend time on it. But actually, the notes and the material that we put there, they are saving a lot of time from someone instead of trying to do their own notes to get the gist of all the material. So, if you remember, we had so many calls also for delivering SciSec Advanced back then. And when we had the new syllabus rolling out from SciSec, we spent a nice time and we delivered that course. And now I'm very happy that we actually launched the new syllabus of AML. And while we had our team members sitting the first examination, where Christina studied the course that we delivered. And actually, it's again an example of a person who studies this, goes to the first examination, and she passed 90%. So it's a proven that it works, and it's proven that our course delivers. Then with the CPDs, which is another element, the CPDs courses, which I disagree a lot with the way that other providers are doing it, but it's their work. Through the presentation, through the meaning of the CPDs, it continues education. You have the obligation as a provider to give knowledge to people. It's not about getting 5 CPDs. It's not about only ticking the box. We have to understand that we have to learn something. You pay after all. So it's not about getting the cheapest course to tick the CPDs. It's evaluating, am I paying something that I get nothing in the end? So this is actually losing your money versus I pay something premium and I get a premium course. And I'll say to, honestly, our courses are very cheap with what we deliver. So effectively, our course can be the cheapest course out there because it's very premium content. Someone gets, let's say, I'll say a course, how to prepare your annual AML report. If someone gets this course by paying 100 euros, it will be exposed to a nice material, which if they have the time and an effort, they can prepare their own annual report, which out there you can pay like 2,000 to 3,000 euros for someone to give you this report. So isn't it that cheap? We put all the efforts, we guide you how to do everything, and at the same time you get your CPDs. So something that I would like to see in the future from competitors, because we have, the competition is good, but you have to understand what am I competing. I'm competing low prices or I'm competing quality. So I would like to see people competing quality. Raise your price because you make effort and you deliver to the client. Because I'm not willing to reduce my quality just to get someone subscribed to the course. It damages me. Not everyone thinks that damaged them, which is not my problem, but if we all raise the bar as providers and we give information to people through courses, through consulting, through everything, we are seen more professionals. We are more professionals. And you can justify your price because everything has a price. But if you just say, I give you whatever just to tick the box, it doesn't help.
Yeah. I like the way you put it. What I would say is that we have done a lot of courses together and we continue to do a lot together. Your experience with working with us for the past few years has been invaluable because of the feedback that you're able to get from your personal clients that do the courses, but also to new users that come on. I do believe that the way we have transitioned the courses from first going to live courses to now doing more, just self-study, I think is huge. And I think that's based on the feedback of the market that we're getting. You pointed out very correctly that, when you are doing a live course and you dedicate 5 hours to doing that, a lot of the knowledge there will go over your head. It's just impossible to retain all that knowledge. But if you cut it down in chunks and you have your notes there that have been already refined from an expert like yourself, for example, you have your notes refined, and then you have, chunks, half an hour tonight, half an hour tomorrow, half an hour during my lunch break, whenever I have the time. That's how you gain the knowledge and you actually remember. And I think also if you do the live course, you may have had a bad experience then within that element because you're like, wow, it's so much information, I don't remember anything. And therefore it puts you off from studying again because you're like, I already did it, I don't know, I feel bad. But with the self-study and the CPDs in particular, where we're adding that knowledge, we're adding that value, and the way it's delivered, I think is really actionable from the users. And they're able to translate that knowledge and information they learned from our instructors into the workplace. And we have seen that from our 200 plus reviews on Trustpilot, Google reviews, feedback when we go to clients themselves to ask them at the beginning of the year what courses they would like. The other question I wanted to ask you is about, you've been delivering a lot of courses. Is there something in particular, maybe for the next year, that you'd be looking to introduce, a topic that you'd like to go into?
Well,
share with us.
This is very interesting. What I like about our work, I will say more, is that we always have new things coming up. So this year we launched 30 courses where we have new material and new courses, even more than before. Risk management, portfolio, information for marketing. So we try to touch upon also different type of people working in different type of firms, different type of entities, I would say, but also different products. And these are great. We always wanted to have more, but you need time, you need effort, and time is what you have. Well, we're launching. MiCA comes in with the CASPs, the new regulation for crypto providers, end of this year. So in 2025, I believe will be very, very interesting year. Very interesting to see how the SciSec, of course, will transpose all of this and the new regulatory framework, the applications and all of that. How the industry will cope with that. How even FCA, UK will interpret their own MiCA because they are outside Europe. But they will do work on that. We also have Dubai and Abu Dhabi where they have great frameworks for crypto, and we have also Mauritius already delivered crypto licenses. And I'm talking about the globe now. So we already have courses for MiCA, and we already have courses related to AML and MiCA framework. What I would for sure do next year, it will be using our experience and how this industry will evolve to launch more and more practical courses related to crypto providers. And the reason I'm doing that, I want to share this, is because we all know the regulatory framework of MiFID. We are all aware of, the nonsense, the specific things that the regulator sees and they want. Okay, it's there. There is a demand. We know not everyone is doing compliance, so they want to learn. But always, what we don't know, it's interesting. So launching this powerful regulatory framework. And as a leading provider, thoughtful, we are here to share knowledge, right? Launching courses related to that, it's powerful. Remember that we also have 2 regulatory frameworks more that coming up. DORA, which is related to IT, security, and all of that. And we also had ICT, which was a big subject this year with HEPA framework and all of that. We haven't done course for ICT, and I know the institute doesn't have one. Maybe we are going to consider launching ICT course or DORA course, because with all of this, we will have new regulations, meaning that more reporting and more work. And you have to go with how the regulations cope and learn and evolve and with it, isn't it? Because if I say, I don't care, I know as much as I know, it's okay, then I stay behind. So, and this is not who we are. So with our effort of, in a way, simplifying the regulations, simplifying what's coming up, I will be looking next year to launch courses related to MiCA, maybe other regulatory frameworks around the world, because we are not limited to Europe, right? So we may launch things like that. Mauritius, of course, because it's an area where we work. We have also our presence, and I think will be interesting, because in this way we have more exposure to the world through our voices.
Yeah. So do you think with this new regulation that's coming up that we're approaching areas where we could be overregulated? What's your opinion about that? Or you think that there's still a lot of room for regulation and that it's encouraged? What are your thoughts?
This rule of the overregulation, they are talking about this like decades now. Yes, as the world evolves, we have more regulations. Regulation is not a bad thing, I'd say. It's forming some rules to go forward. And here we're talking about safeguarding clients' money. If we don't have regulations of safeguarding clients' money, then everybody can be a scammer, effectively. We don't want that. You want your money to be secure, right? And you say, I put it in banks. But then you say, not every bank is reputable. Not every bank is trustworthy, etc., etc. This goes with any institution, financial. We are talking about financial institutions. So, introducing DORA, introducing ICT rules, in my view, it should have been one of the major regulations, and it's more important than MiCA, MiFID, and all of that, because we are in an online environment, and the security of your systems and all of that, which are part of the regulation, are more important than any paperwork that you do or how you talk to clients, isn't it? You secure them actually. Do you have the infrastructure to secure your systems? The answer is yes or no. Or maybe. The maybe is no, isn't it? So if we are under over-regulated sphere, maybe yes. But it's because we are transitioned to a world where everything is online and everything is evolving in such a fast way, which in my opinion, these regulations that are there, they are not capturing the real need. Remember that to roll out the regulation, MiCA, for example, is drafted 5 years ago. But 5 years ago or so, I don't remember the exact dates, but it's the drafting, it's reviews, it's the consultation with the EU Commission, and then to form the drafts, and then we publish. And I think the publication of MiCA, the drafts, were over 2 years ago, and then they say we're going to be in force end of 24, and then we have a transitional period. 1.5 years, blah, blah, blah. But within these 5 years, these are irrelevant. The world moves faster than them. But imagine if we didn't have this set of rules anyway. So they are needed.
Yeah. Very well put. I want to ask you as well about your career. Let's go back a little bit. Was this vision of yourself now where you are today? Was this something that you had growing up, maybe when you graduated high school and you were going to university and starting your degrees? Was it something that you had back then, or do you think it developed more over the years and your ambitiousness and wanting more, running multiple businesses? How do you think that happened?
That's interesting. I'll say I was discussing with Nicolas a few days ago about a specific subject, and I even said to him, honestly, we are not the same people like we were 6 months ago. This is, I mean it. Through this process of growing up as persons, as individuals, as professionals, at least I say for myself, you are not the same person every year. Meaning that you learn through the process, through the bad process and through the good process. The most important lesson I learned is through bad management, bad decisions, or naive decisions that I made, which lead to something that I believe in something more fairy tale, I say, yeah. Even when I go back, we are students and we believe that the world is so easy and nice. Okay, I will grow up, I will do my studies, and I will start earning a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. It's a fantasy. Even when you go to study, you have to put effort. You have to study a lot. When I was doing my master's degree, I was literally studying for 8-10 hours a day. It's so hard to do it. But what I learned from this is that if you want it, you can make it, right? If you really want it. If you don't really want it, then you have a lot of excuses to say. But the very important for me back then, it was to say, I go to exam. Am I satisfied with myself studying? If I say yes, it means that I can be proud, and if I fail the exam, I will not feel guilty. I did all the best on my knowledge, at least. But if I say no, it means that I had more room for studying, I had more room for understanding. And this thing, it's also at work and in life. Did I do everything I could for SALVUS? Did I did everything for this client, for this particular case? If there is a maybe, then you could do better. Okay, so when I finished my studies, I came in Cyprus. What I've studied is difficult to find a job here. Then I went to easy markets. I went to another jobs, but let's say I start with easy markets. So easy markets, I learned so many things, so many good things that developed me, developed my understanding, my knowledge. Remember that you are dealing with in a company where there are so many people, working with many people and less people, there are good and bad things. Different attitudes of people when you are in a big company. When you are small teams, things are different. So all of this shapes you, and you understand where you feel better. Not everything is for everyone. When you have your own business, for example, I say that definitely it's not for everybody. The owning business. I'm always happy hearing someone who says, you know what, I believe that I can do it myself, and I started my own venture, my own company. I congratulate these people. What they want, though, to know, if I share my message, is you need to have, a stomach to keep you growing. to keeps you moving. Everyone, I mean, it's easy to say we cannot make it more than 6 months, more than 1 year. I will go back to the industry. I will find another job. That's an easy thing to do. Which, wanted or not, it comes to your mind when things, am I make it? You self-doubt yourself. I self-doubted myself as well, to be honest. Having a right partner, again, is a great thing. For me, it's the best thing to have partner like I have, Nicolas, for 2 reasons. One is you have someone to talk about and share your bad thoughts, your doubts, your decisions, or whether I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that, for any aspect. Honestly sharing your views, and the other person can give you feedback, good and bad. The bad feedback, which is not easy for many people to accept it, it's good that it's there. But because if someone gives you feedback, remember that it's also difficult for this person to give you the bad feedback in the first place. This person who gives bad things, still thinking how I will share this bad feedback, so I will make the other person motivated to reverse it and do it good. So partnership is great when you have someone who is honest, you have common grounds, the honesty, giving feedback, and also having different, I say, characteristics. For me and Nicolas, we are different people. We have the close links, we have the same values, but we have different characteristics, even how we deal with people and how we deal with work. But this makes a perfect match, because we all have different things to give. If we were exactly the same copy, we will clash, isn't it? Because we have the same strong opinions and repeating each other. Having different competences, it's perfect, it's great. We can give a lot of value, and I believe we are doing that. So I embrace people, to close that subject, to move their own things, to do their own. It's a beautiful journey to have your own, to grow teams, to share the culture, to grow like partners, everybody who works with you, and bring together and do things. And it's like I say, when you choose a partner, it's a similar way how you choose an employee, because the employee, it's part of your journey. It's your partner again. So for us, it's so important to hire people having the same or similar culture, ethics, and how we deal with people. Because we move together in that way. I know it's difficult to be achieved, but we believe in it.
Great. Evdokia, thank you so much for your time. I would love to have another episode with you as well, where we dive more into business. I know you have a lot of knowledge you want to share, and you're passionate about that. I'll be more than happy to start with you again. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today with Evdokia Pitsillidou. Evdokia, thank you for your time. Where can people find you? Where can learners connect with you, professionals?
Well, I'm always on LinkedIn. We are also engaged a lot there. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to us through SALVUS Funds. Of course, you can reach out to us through the Institute. And we're happy to contribute where we can to any areas of concern.
Great, amazing. Thank you, Evdokia.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.